and welcome back to Campaigns of the Plains. This is our D&D Season 2 episode, so if you're a big fan of Final Fantasy, boy, we got you covered, because we're doing a lot of homebrew Final Fantasy stuff here in this campaign, and we put these episodes out every Friday for your pleasure here on YouTube, but we also have some other stuff that you can go check out on our channel too. We've got our Season 1 campaign done by our very own Matt. We also have a couple of one-shots, the Honey Heist one-shot done by our very own Alysia. We also have Humblewood done by our very own Travis. And we also have a couple of murder mysteries set in the Eberron setting done by this guy right here. Those are all of our kind of fantasy D&D campaigns, but we also have another game that we've played called Monster of the Week. So if you like all things 80s and all things Monster of the Week, like Supernatural, Angel, any of those kind of shows, I think you're going to like it. Go check it out. But we understand that you don't always have time to watch videos, but we've also got you covered on that end, don't we, Travis?
Oh, hell yeah. You can go on over to your favorite podcast platform and download the most recent audio episode. Every Wednesday, we release them at 7 a.m. That way you can download them before your morning commute. That's 7 a.m. Central. Go over to either Apple Music, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and there's a bunch of other little ones in between. We're available just about anywhere you can find podcasts, so make sure to hit that bell on your favorite so that you are aware of every time we're dropping a new one.
And make sure to go and do the same on our YouTube channel. Comment, subscribe, like. We appreciate all of that. If you'd like to follow for updates on when new episodes drop or just our general silliness, we do have some socials listed down below me here. So we have a Facebook, we have a Twitter, we have Instagram, so make sure to go and like us and follow us there. We appreciate your guys' support. Yeah, let's get into it. Alysia, you want to give us a recap on what happened last time?
Well, we are not currently in danger.
Huzzah!
Ha ha! First time in like 4 episodes. Maybe more. Probably more. So my notes, Royal Rumble, because that's what happened. Battle time, and for some reason I put a little heart over the I in time. Okay, well, I didn't spell any of that right. It's supposed to be Geomancer, but it's Go-Mancer.
Okay.
Gets knocked down, but he gets back up again. He's all the undead. Sappho tells Milos to launch a fire butt. Bolt. What? I just didn't spell it right. At his
I didn't make that spell.
aunt/mom.
She just cast Taco Bell.
Yes.
Fire butt.
Milos
lost that.
heals Boric.
They're aware.
I didn't say it was bad. I just said
They're aware.
They know.
Aware what?
Yeah. Milos kills Boric. KO. Dome falls. And the party attacks Jack. Ellie coming in clutch with the slow.
It's like 3rd grade literature.
And Ellie came in clutch with the slow on Jack, and Becky turned into a crab, and I think it's still a crab. Joker comes to save the day, and he just up Jack's little Aeon, not Aeon, what are they called?
Esper.
He just eats it like it's a taco. And then he is, I think, dying more than he was before from eating the last spirit taco. Daddy and Mommy Milos reunite with baby Milos. Becky the crab cannibal. Because she also eats up what's his name like a taco. Man taco. Yeah.
I need
yes.
to DoorDash some tacos.
The
They are
old
open late.
I know.
green. What? Oh, the old green is still the boss lady. It's supposed to be queen.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
Yep.
what is that?
We're the Vision Braves. Zaddy's name is Marcel. That's Daddy Milos. That's all I got.
Okay.
They're very coherent for sure, right?
We're only 22 minutes.
You guys want some spirit tacos?
Sounds good.
I was just looking at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Not spawn. Oh, but I would. 'Cause I love Taco
I mean,
Bell.
I'd take
Yeah.
that sponsorship. I'd
We
take
do a Taco Bell one shot. We can
I
make it happen.
would-
It would be called Baja Blast.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my
It would take
God.
place in
Yeah.
Southern California, and we would all be warlocks.
Mm.
Oops, a warlock?
Oh.
Surfing warlocks.
I
It
like
takes
it.
place in the early 90s.
I think
I
that
think,
Eighties?
I think Eric's got a
gonna
one
be
shot.
in this,
Yeah, I think Eric's
Yeah.
got a one
And,
shot.
Eric.
and extremely drunk so we can be blasted.
Yeah.
Well, every time you use a warlock pack, you have to
Um,
you just slam one of those like Mountain Dew
Elder
seltzers.
Blaize.
Yeah.
We have some in my fridge still.
We should also have plenty of tacos available
Yeah.
for us.
and nachos.
Doritos Locos.
Oh no,
I'm not hungry, but I
I
want a
want-
taco now.
I want a Crunchwrap Supreme.
Oh, I do love a Crunch Wrap
Ooh,
Supreme.
Mexican
I'm a big
pizza.
fan of the Mexican pizzas.
Anyway,
Anyway, we can talk
I'm
about
really
the
glad
Taco
they're
Bell
back. Okay.
menu later on. So yeah, you guys were able to force Boric's forces out of Bronver here and allow the Queen to take the throne back, as well as reunite Milos with his birth family, or his biological family. You guys are all in the throne room here. Everybody kind of pours in Star Wars style. A bunch of Albed forces, as well as a couple of resistance forces. They're all lining up in this hall. The hall here in Bronver has this like small pool in the middle of the hall itself. The floor is all this very finely worked sandstone that dips down into this pool. The pool itself has like these lotus flowers that are kind of floating on the surface, and then of course the Queen's throne is sitting kind of higher than everything else in the room, but the throne itself is just this sort of ornate wooden chair. There's really nothing too flashy about it. So this is the first time you guys kind of have gotten to see this room after passing through it to get to the Crystal Tower. So you guys are kind of taking it in. There's a big hullabaloo, everything around, but the Queen calls for silence and doesn't get it at first, and then finally Sappho's like, "Shut the fuck up!" And everybody just kind of like all of a sudden was like, oh, okay. And the Queen kind of looks at Sappho like, okay, thanks. Anyway, I thank you all for doing your utmost in defending our fair city of Bronver. I apologize for my absence, but unfortunately a few months ago, I was visited by a stranger, and he let me in on a great many things that would come to pass in our country that were not going to be pleasant. And he made varying promises on how I could protect Bronver, but unfortunately, those were all lies. I appreciate everyone for all that you have done, and I hope that you will continue to support us as we try to rebuild And as we force the forces of the church back to Alexandria, we have no need for their forces here in Bronver. They have become increasingly aggressive, going so far as to have sent spies among us. Rest assured, those spies have been dealt with, and now we must shore up our defenses, because there is more work to be done. Long live the Oasis. Everybody kind of chimes in a little bit there. Sort of happy, kind of somberly. She says, now go and rest. We will begin plans for repairs and future plans tomorrow. But for tonight, go celebrate. Be amongst each other.
Milos, how do your people celebrate?
I mean, we celebrate like anyone else. We have a grand festival, parade type thing, and lots of drinking, and maybe there's, clothing.
Dancing?
Or
Do you dance?
Maybe there's.
well,
Maybe there's what?
clothing optional.
What? Ellie just, pulls her shawl around her.
Such a grandma.
She is.
Yes, there's lots of dancing. If that
Is it naked dancing? I've read about naked dancing in books.
Not Marquies books.
Mm.
No, that's where she's gotten them.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have read about that in Marquies' books. Although I know it's not real because, he won't even show us his face. Not like he's gonna show anybody the rest of his body. That's the least believable part of the whole book.
Well, at least she draws a line.
At being naked?
No.
No, but being naked is fine.
At deciding what's believable and not in these books.
Oh yeah. The part where you fought a dragon and ate, 10 times your weight in gold or something.
That doesn't
She
happen.
means all that.
Is
not-
that in one of the future books?
Sure.
The Void novels.
Yeah.
Regardless, I'm sure we'll find plenty of festivities out in the city. But I gotta go talk to the queen for a little bit. I have some rather pressing questions for her. If is she is busy right now? Is she preoccupied with people?
There's a lot of people trying to come up and talk to her, but you see kind of a rough sorts of maybe one or two that you recognize, but other faces that may have filled in for the Queen's Guard, who are now kind of surrounding her and keeping people from getting too close to her.
Did the Albed come here too?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I didn't know if they were welcome in here or if things have changed or whatever.
Well, Milos has told you before that it's mostly the church that
that doesn't like the Albed.
doesn't like the
okay.
Albed.
Mm-hmm.
Could you
Yeah.
please tell your aunt that even
Sounds
though
like
I am a
church.
summoner, I don't like the church either, and I'm not a spy?
Yes, I'll make sure she knows that you're not a spy. You're with me, obviously.
I know that, but I'm very, very church presenting, but I don't like them. They killed my friend.
I understand. I will make sure to reiterate that in between asking her why she gave me up at birth
Oh,
and
your
where my
stuff,
father has been.
your stuff is more important. Way more important. You should also probably make sure your other not parents are alive and well and safe.
Yeah. Do I happen to see them in here as
Not
we're
in
talking about
here, no.
Okay.
However, while you're waiting, kind of to move through this throng of people to speak with the Queen, Gregor actually comes up to you and says, he kind of taps you on the shoulder and he says, I was told to let you know that Oraha is in our medical tent. He's fine, but he was hurt during the fight, so but he is receiving medical attention. Proper medical attention.
Is that in the city or back in the encampment?
We've moved forces close to outside of city, so...
Okay. Well, thank you, Gregor, for letting me know. I appreciate the information. And also thank you for helping defend my city. I assume you helped fend off forces as well.
Yes, killed many creatures, took many trophies.
That's great to hear. I'm glad you got some new toy trophy things. That sounds about right.
Yes, anyway, I will be returning to our tents if you...
No, Gregor.
Yes.
Come dance with me at the party.
I do not dance.
Well, you could do the naked thing that Milos was saying.
I would not like to be without my armor.
That's fair.
You can keep
Okay,
your
what
armor
about,
on.
What
No one's
about
gonna
just
take
the
it off.
drinking part? You should celebrate.
This may be acceptable.
Okay, let's go have liquors. I grab his hand and just wander away with him.
He doesn't go anywhere because Gregor is actually very strong, and he says, "No, I must. My duty is with the prince.
Yeah, but he's being
Gregor
taken
is
care of
strong,
by the
I wrote
medical
him that
lady.
way.
He's being taken care of by the medical lady. He doesn't need you.
He may have separate orders.
Okay,
I
let's
must.
go talk to him first. Let's go. Come on. I grab him.
He's already like
Oh.
you're still kind of hanging on to him, and he's already moving. Like
Okay, I'll be right. Wait, how far out of the town is the tent?
we're just outside of city
Oh, okay.
limits.
But I get lost easy. You bring me back.
The city is right next to us. We're not far. We're literally outside of the stables.
Where are the stables?
On the outside of the city.
Where's the outside of the city?
At the edge.
I'll figure it
Around the
out.
outside.
Poppy, you'll show me,
Around
right?
the
You're paying
outside.
attention, Poppy?
Poppy's sitting there like cleaning herself.
Good. Perfect. I'll figure it out.
Outside is not on the inside.
I'll go towards the lights. That usually doesn't kill me.
So you are the first one to exit and see the city of Bronver.
Oh.
There are a number of buildings that there wasn't any kind of bombing or any kind of explosions or anything, but you do see remnants of battle where there are like large number of creature like claw marks on the side of stone and like scorch marks.
Dead bodies.
There are quite a few dead bodies here.
Are there a lot of fireflies?
You actually see a number of people have started to perform sendings in certain parts of the cities.
I use my new spell that I got that is message, and I go to Marquies, send to Marquies. There's a lot of people sending a bunch of dead spirits out here, so just, don't come outside. This is Ellie. I think you can respond.
You take your earring off and her voice is still coming through your head and you look around.
You can definitely still respond, just don't come outside.
Okay.
He said okay, he understands. Gregor does not know what I was saying.
Gregor's still walking.
Cool. I'm going on this adventure with Gregor, it's fine.
Okay.
I want to go make sure the Joker's okay.
Besides the battle and the bodies, the city itself is a decent size. Not very large, but definitely larger than the K-Wood was. You see that when they say oasis, they mean oasis. There's a large body of water that is in front of the throne here, and
Gregor, let's go swimming.
no, like I said, I would feel naked without my armor.
Oh, you probably rust. Yeah, you
Wouldn't
probably
you
rust.
be magic?
Anyway, there is this, like I said, the city is very large. You feel like there probably would be a bit to the city if it wasn't just through a battle.
Are there like palm trees?
Yep.
Oh. Are there coconuts? I was going to pick a coconut up.
Sure, some may have fallen during the battle.
This is her prized possession now.
Okay.
As soon as I figure out how to open this, I'm going to be so happy.
Roll for fallen coconut.
Hold on a second. I gotta look at one of Gregor's stats here.
See if his intelligence is high enough to know how to break open a coconut.
I'm actually checking his survival to see if he would know how to properly open a coconut. Yeah. Gregor has an 18. He rolled an 18, so he holds his hand out and he says, "Would you like me to open the coconut for you?"
Yes.
He pulls out, I believe he has a dagger.
But he has a dagger in Fantasy World.
Yeah, right. He does not. He has a hand axe, though, which worked just fine. He does that really cool thing that you've seen on those videos where he slices uses his hand axe to slice the sides of the melon off and then just chops the top off.
Aggressively applauds. Now what do I do with it? I've never had one of these.
You drink the juice.
It's so good. You want some?
No, thank you. Maybe later. He keeps walking.
Oh. I follow him drinking
a surprise
water.
for Ellie later. It's a diuretic.
I'm a girl. Girls don't poop.
Good, because it's direct. Make peace.
Yeah.
Well, good for you.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, the rest of you, besides Milos, who's waiting for an audience here, what are the rest of you doing? Yes, Becky, your crab form has dropped right now.
Your crab form has dropped, honey.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, we'll say there's been enough.
So what
time.
happened to
Becky's just walking around doing this, and everyone's staring at her.
Because I know that was a question on last episode. Was what happens to the guy I ate?
Yes. So, from what I've seen, the body would have broke down like normal for a giant crab, and when you polymorphed, it breaks down into edible or semi-edible substances depending on what was eaten and what has been digested in that time. However, you are going to have some difficulties later on with passing Jack's robes. So, be lots of fiber for you.
Well, maybe I will repolymorph into a crab to pass.
Oh! I might have to pass that. I got,
I have to polymorph. Excuse me.
Excuse me. Back.
I'll be right back. Yep.
I'm gonna burn this 4th level spell slot.
Yep. The things I've googled.
5th, but yes.
Right.
Anyway.
My notes says Becky has a lot of fiber to pass.
What are the rest of you doing while you're waiting here? The throngs of people have just kind of started to group together. You see a group of Elspeth that have kind of started talking in the throne room. There's a couple of distinct groups of people in here. A lot of them are making their way outward, but there are some throngs of people if you would wish to mingle.
Do I see any of the Albed that I've worked with to make Blitzball? I want to check in on that.
Not here, unfortunately. They were not. You look around and their faces aren't among the people who maybe at least made it to the throne room.
Darn. Do I see my really good friend who I'm drawing a blank on his name? The techie dude. Is he in
Nico?
He has
what?
Nico?
Nico, thank you. I was trying to pull it up quick.
Yeah, so was I. He was back in my notes quite a ways. I forgot we had the void in between you speaking to Nico. But yeah, you actually do see him. He's speaking with a group of Albed, just kind of off to the side of the pool area.
Okay. I would approach Nico and try to get his attention while he's talking to all the Albed. As soon as he's done, I'll like motion for him to come over so we can have like a little one-on-one. I'm not trying to be secretive or anything if the group wants to join. Just trying to get him away from potential people.
Yeah, trying to get his attention. So yeah, he kind of he sees you and waves, and then shakes hand and like touches shoulders with a couple of the people that he's speaking with in the group, and then kind of nods, and somebody keeps talking, and he starts doing kind of the Midwestern thing, like, you know, okay, and then finally he kind of is able to split from that group, and he comes over to you and he says, "Well, I never thought that the Queen would end up being your mom, and that guy's your dad?"
Yeah, this is not brand new information, but pretty new. Yeah, I don't know how to take this all in, and then I'll look around and be like, I don't see my adoptive parents here either. Have you seen them in the chaos of getting here and everything?
I think I saw them take your mom. And your dad was with her to one of the medical tents at the and he kind of points to like the leaving Gregor, one of the Imperial have set up around the outside the town for people. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I was worried about their well-being, so good to hear that they're being taken care of. I'll have to track them down at some point. But did you make any more progress with the rest of the Albed? You guys were working on a project. It seems like forever ago. Did you guys were securing the materials to increase the defenses of the encampment, I believe? Like, because we had that giant attack, and I haven't talked to you since. Like, I was worried sick.
Yeah, and you guys kind of up and left. But yeah,
sorry.
we did manage to get better guns with the help of the Imperials to defend the encampment, but then we heard that you guys were headed to the city, so we just started to rally folks and retake the city with the help of the Imperials. So
yeah, it seems like you guys did a really good job. I am impressed considering how crazy the city seemed to be with all of the creatures and everything. Did your little android friend make it? Is he flying around or?
He points to his back. He's like, I just don't let him fly around. He's got it like in a backpack kind of style, like holding on his back. And he says, well, we wouldn't have been able to take the city if we didn't do something a little drastic.
What did you do?
We may have given some information to the Imperials that I'm not super happy about.
What did you do?
Well, they were running out of fuel on a couple of their machines, and they didn't have the magical source to be able to charge them in time to get to the city, so we found an alternative fuel source while we were out in the desert.
Oh
no. What is that?
He kind of looks around and kind of like pulls you over to one of the pillars. The throne room here is all open. There's really nowhere to hide except for You could have probably been able to hide behind one of the set of curtains that usually adorned the side of the halls, but a lot of them have been shredded. But he tries to kind of like take you behind one of the pillars, and he reaches inside of his vest, and he pulls out like a small, long vial, and in it you see this like blue liquidy material.
Do I recognize what this is?
Go ahead and roll me a history check.
16.
16 is enough because you just heard it recently from when you were in the void. This is cerulean.
Oh.
So this is the fuel source that you saw was still burning years later here in Rubus. And he said, we found this out in the desert. It burns for a really long time, and you don't really need that much to be able to power any kind of combustible engine.
Isn't that what kept the desert burning for like years in the void?
Yes, I was literally about to tell him that.
Oh my god. Don't use it.
I would, like, my eyes would get all wide and be like, don't use that. That stuff's really dangerous. I don't know how to explain this to you, other than I saw another timeline or some shit, and that was, like, burning all over the oasis for, like, decades, because it never goes out.
Well, I mean, we've only found small pockets here and there, so we'll be extra careful, but I mean, the power source, the availability of it is very slim right now, but as a power source, it can power so much more when you aren't able to charge elemental crystals, or in a place where the ley lines aren't, super readily available.
Yeah, I understand you don't have a lot of it, but I would very much not let someone like, I don't know, the Imperials, get more access to it. Because if they, for some reason, find some in their neck of the woods, and they are experimenting with it, they could, I don't know, bomb the Oasis with a bomb that has a bunch of, never going out fire, and then we just no longer have a city.
I mean, they really helped us. I don't know why they would bomb us, but yeah, we will be careful on, we haven't told them where we found it, but we have shared, what we have, and they were actually pretty quick to adapt it into a lot of their machina, so that's really what helped save the city.
I mean, it's great that they were able to help, but it's not great that they were easily able to just plug it into their machina and it just worked. That's scary. I just don't like giving potential enemies. I'm not saying they're going to be our enemies tomorrow, but who knows? They might want to come and conquer the Oasis for some reason. And I don't want to give them ammunition, literally.
Fair enough. Well, like I said, we won't tell anybody where we found it. But yeah, it was super helpful, and that's kind of how we were able to retake the city. I mean, they were able to whip up a pretty quick engine with this really crazy girl that was on the south side of our encampment. She liked to make things explode anyway, so she was already had an idea for an engine to convert it into.
What are you smiling about?
No.
Well, I mean, that's interesting that they have a bomb expert or engine expert. I don't know.
It was an Albed girl. She's the one that helped them with the engine.
Oh, I mean, that's cool. Do I really? we heard like he obviously doesn't know her name. Have I heard of anyone like that? In my dealings with the Elbed or anything?
Not you. Nope.
Nope, but Christian has.
What?
Okay.
That gun you bought that
Um,
you can shoot potions at with us?
Does it match the description of that? Like,
Of that individual, yes, but yeah,
okay.
something you should know, but Milos wouldn't.
Right. I'm trying to like not metagame it too hard.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. Well, I'll keep an eye out for her. She sounds like a very helpful individual that we can, make sure that we have on our side in case anything happens.
She's pretty crazy and kind of eccentric, so
Yeah, I'm sure
Maybe
she
could
is.
fix our airship.
Maybe that's a great idea.
She a time traveler? Go back in time before it burned?
Well, Nico, I don't know if you've heard about this venture. Just throwing it out there for you. And then I gotta go talk to my mom quick, the Queen mom. Do you know Jarek by chance?
yeah, that name sounds familiar.
You should totally invest in this thing that he's working on. I put in some gold. Highly recommend you do too. It sounds like a great venture, great investment. Just, looking out for my buddy.
He's got a lot of investments. Which one are you talking about?
There's this thing that he's working on. There's like a machine that you could see, really old video. He's gonna try and recreate like a stadium. I think that'd be really good for the Oasis to be able to like bring in tourism and shit.
Fair enough. I surprised you.
Shit.
I forgot that you were an investor in Blitzball.
Yeah, that's exactly what I am.
He kind of looks at you and he's like, "How much gold did you give him?"
Like 20.
Okay. Jarek is unfortunately not known for like following through a lot. Like he makes big promises and.
I would rather he at least try. And if it doesn't come to anything, 20 gold is not that big a deal, right? As I open my bag and have like hundreds more, be like, I think I got some to spare.
You see him like look at your pack like, what?
Adventuring pays well, okay.
Yeah.
Fucking rich kids.
Yeah.
But
Always make sure you have a rich friend, kids.
Mhm.
yeah. Am I that to fucking Nico? Anyway.
Seems like
Anyway.
Yeah. You're the trust fund kid.
Yeah. Anyway, but just help him out if you can. I know you're busy with a bunch of other things, but it doesn't hurt. Throw in your aid if you can.
I will keep an eye out for him.
I appreciate that.
I'll let you get back to trying to getting that throng of people.
Yeah, I might have to just push my way through. I'm sure they'll let me through. But this is gonna be a lot. But it was good to see you. I'm sure we'll catch up before I leave. If not, I'll keep an eye out for any people. I think we're heading to a Frester next. If you need me out, that's probably where we'll be. But I'll keep you in the loop if not.
Yeah, not a problem. I'll probably just be here working with the Elbed hoping to spread the use of Machina a bit now that the church isn't around as much, so...
Yeah, it should be significantly easier. We're already pretty accepting of the Elbed, so, any more defenses we can add, they seem to be really useful for defending the encampment, so, yeah. I'm
really hoping to do something that's not war-related, but I can see how it's needed right now.
Yeah, unfortunately it's kind of what's important, but you can always tinker, right? Nothing stopping you from tinkering. Nothing ever has.
And he just kind of pats you on the shoulder and says, "All right, well, don't be a stranger. I'll be somewhere around in town."
Okay, sounds good, buddy. And I will head back. I don't know if the group followed me.
That's what I was just about to ask here is,
Yeah.
does anybody else want to do anything?
I think Becky, once she turns into herself, she grabs her stomach briefly, a little bit of a bellyache,
Mm-hmm.
and then is Din in the room still?
Yes, I believe so, right? You didn't follow?
Yeah, I'm following the crab, of course.
Okay. I go over to Din and I grab your hand and I'm like, Din, we're alive and we're in a different city. Come on. And I'm going to drag her out the door.
We're going.
Okay. Degree girls are off.
Oh no. This could only
Anywhere in particular that you have in mind?
Well, I think once we get outside of the, I don't know what you call this, temple castle thing,
Yeah, it's
spire.
what do they call the old Roman buildings with just the columns in the top? I can't. Gotta look up Roman.
Parthenon.
No, it's the Acropolis.
Acropolis would probably be closer to the word I'm looking for.
That's just the top of the
Okay.
city.
Yeah, once we're outside of that, like just gazing on the oasis and I forgot the city's name. Sorry.
Bronver.
Bronver.
Sorry.
Bronver.
Yep.
Like, I'm just like, oh my god. Do you want to fly? Like, for fun? I haven't done that in forever.
Yeah? Let's go.
All right.
Yeah,
I just
I'm kind of wondering.
open
She's
the
just been in
wings and we
prison
take
for
off.
6 years in
Okay.
her mind.
So you guys both find decent takeoff point right outside of the building. Up on one of the higher ledges here is the. It's not a very big height, but it's enough where you guys can take off with a little bit of a run there. So you guys take off and start flying over the city. This is definitely the tallest building. It's not very tall. But it's the tallest building here, and you start flying over. You kind of, unfortunately, get into parts of the where there's like black smoke kind of coming up from the city, where things maybe were on fire at some point in time. But you start seeing people. You spot Ellie and Gregor as they had stopped by the oasis waters, and Gregor's like chopping open a coconut for Ellie as they're on their way to the outside of the city. You see these.
Dad, can I have a snack on the way?
You see these beautiful blue waters that are untouched by the battle in the middle of this oasis that is surrounded by a number of palm trees. Most of the city itself isn't completely sand or anything by any means. The city streets have been paved decently so, with like flagstones, sandstone, that kind of thing. And as you guys are actually up here, you see that there is actually a motif of a turtle that is worked into the cobblestone that most people wouldn't see except for unless they were at either a large height or flying over top. So,
Oh my god. This is such a beautiful city. And it's so full of life. Dan, I don't know if you even understand this, but like, even if this city is half burnt down, it's more people than I've seen in like 6 years.
Oh, gosh. That sounds awful.
Yeah.
How did you manage those 6 years?
I don't know. I mean, what can you do when you're like just a bodiless thing? You just kind of like, I don't know. You tuck yourself away in memories. I had a lot of memories from books. I'm kind of a nerd.
Books?
Don't you dare fucking tell anyone.
I don't know.
But, like, I read so much before I left my tribe, and then, like, then you guys, you're like, I don't know, kind of like a breath of fresh air, and like that, those are memories that like kind of kept me going. I don't know, it was hard, and I don't know, I don't really want to focus on it. I think I just want to be here, be in the sky, and like just see. I know that there's a lot of destruction below us, but like all these people cleaning up, they don't understand what they have. I've seen the worst, and you and I and the rest of the team, we're going to stop the worst from happening. I guarantee it.
Of course you will.
I feel like we should be like consulted on that.
Us?
Like, yeah.
Do you want some coconut?
We're not-
While you guys are flying around, Becky, unfortunately,
Ellie just gets really excited and starts shaking it, and all the water comes out.
Yeah.
Oh.
unfortunately, as you're trying not to think about it, you do think about it for a couple of split seconds, and you see the land, and for a second even smell the fire that wafted to Alexandria from Rubus, and kind of freeze you in your tracks for a moment, just seeing that giant pyre of blue fire engulfing most of the desert. But you kind of shake yourself out of it, but the reverie seems like it doesn't quite leave you. What's your passive perception?
It's a great question. It is 13.
13. What is yours, Din?
13.
13. There is just this ripple, maybe about 50 or so feet from you guys. Just for a split second, it looks like the light seems to like shimmer, and then it's gone. And Becky, you get this kind of foreboding sense like somebody is watching you.
And I'll say to Dan, did you see something?
I thought it did, maybe. Was it out in the distance?
Yeah. Like a ripple.
Should we check it out?
YOLO! And
Oh my god.
she
Yes.
heads off that way.
Why don't you both roll me perception checks?
$19.
19? Becky?
Perception.
Mm-hmm.
Perception. Oh, 18.
18. For just a very brief second, Din, you spot this glimmer. It looks like you spot that ripple again, and it seems like it's keeping its distance from you. You guys traveled to where you saw it, but it seems like you don't find anything in the area that you guys were in. And for a second there, out of the corner of your eye, Din, you spot something. It's like I said, it's only for a second, only in the corner of your eye. It looks like some kind of like shine from or reflection from a dark, almost crystalline shimmer, and then it's gone again.
I could barely see it. Something was shining out there.
I don't see anything. Do you know what color it is or what shape it is?
No, I couldn't tell.
That's weird.
You guys continue to kind of look around, and you can't find it. Either it's gone or you just can't spot it, but you can't shake that feeling like you're being watched, Becky.
I'm gonna try primeval awareness.
Primeval awareness?
Yep. Sense any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, phase fiends, or undead within 1 mile. It doesn't reveal the location though. But
There, you see as Din stops and kind of floats where she's at, and she kind of closes her eyes a bit, and you see her ears kind of perk up, and the hairs on her arms kind of stand up a little bit, and all of a sudden, Din, you get this this feeling like you're being watched back, and for a second in your mind's eye, you see this yellow slit eye watching you, and then it's gone.
Okay, there's something definitely out there, but I don't know what it is.
What are you seeing?
Maybe I saw just a yellow eye. It's watching us.
Yellow eye. Does that remind me of anything?
Go ahead and make me a history check. With advantage.
Natural 20.
Oh.
There's only one thing that you could think of with yellow eyes that would be attempting to watch you. Osoroshi.
Fucking Osoroshi. Okay. Well, I'll say to Dan, I think I know who it is.
Who is it?
There isn't much we can do at this point. Not unless we can find some way to shield ourselves from his vision. But we're in his domain now. Not too far away, in fact. And, in fact, if we go to the capital, we'll be even closer. So...
Time to fuck up Dragon Daddy.
I feel like my past is going to catch up with us faster than I thought it would. And it just really sucks, you know? Like, I literally fucking died, and I thought, for a second, maybe we'd get, a break. That maybe I could, forget all the people that died technically at my hand. A lot of shit happened, Dan. And don't know if I'm ready to kill again. Yeah, I know I ate that guy, but he was already dead. I don't know. It just really sucks.
I mean, I'll do it for
I
you.
think, what?
I'll do it for you. Or I'll help you. Whichever. And then the sooner we get rid of this problem, the sooner you're free, right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm not hungry. For some reason, I'm very, very full. But I need some comfort food. And I think Becky's going to dive towards, like, a market if she sees one.
Most of the market stalls are closed because the attack on the city.
Third party
But in the oasis flying over, I believe I know what you're going for. You would have definitely seen them swimming in the oasis water.
Crabs.
Oh, no. No, I would not.
No?
No. I'd go for a coconut before I would go for a fish.
Okay.
Are you still with the coconuts?
I don't know how far I've gone from the coconuts.
They've already moved away from the coconut.
Ellie's happy with her coconut.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna knock some coconuts down.
I mean, you can.
Oh, no, I'm on you.
Oh, gotcha.
Fruit's way too healthy for Den.
You see a lot of people like picking up like market stalls and like trying to put things back together, so to speak. There's a lot of people that have started like gathering wood because there's going to probably be quite a few bonfires tonight. They've started to like pile them in the middle of the streets where there is sand in places that you see. They have like round pits built into the stones where probably for bonfires.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Becky would turn to Den and be like, should we, like, help or something?
How about we go fishing in the water instead? That sounds like more fun. Like swooping down on fish? Like hunting? Is there fish in the water? Probably.
There are fish in the water.
Yes.
Catch it with your teeth.
Sounds like more fun. We can help later. Maybe.
You can help go fishing for them.
Okay, well, alright. And then I think, yeah, we can go fishing, I guess.
Wait,
and then,
what if you cast a
I'll-
giant fireball in the water and we get toasted fish right away?
Oh my god.
fireball?
Yeah.
I mean, I've only ever used spears, but, like, that could work.
Well, we could go in one bit.
Yeah, so I guess, yeah, Becky will fly up and...
Somebody needs to come supervise them. Somebody. Marquies, where are you? They need an adult.
Yeah, she'll roll a... Well, we don't have fireball, we have firebolt, though.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Whew.
The city's not going to be on fire. Good.
Yeah, so I guess she'll try and find a group of fish and aim for it.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me an attack roll. Just attack roll for fish.
We got an AC of 20.
Yeah.
Okay. That is a dirty 20.
Yeah, you'll manage to hit, we'll say, like a decent sized school of fish, and you manage to, like, the sizzle from the water, like, mostly, like, catches them in kind of a burst as the firebolt kind of sizzles out as it hits the water, but you do manage to hit some that were right on top of the water, so they come up kind of, semi-boiled.
Flash boiled.
Yeah.
Steamed. Just steamed.
With the guts
didn't pick it up,
intact.
like,
and
bowl
everything.
them and just...
Do we have like armfuls of fish? How much fish do we get?
We'll say 5 fish. You
Five
guys were
fish.
able to get 5
Okay.
fish with a firebolt.
Are they big fish? Are they like trophy fish? That they
What
should
color
hold
are
up?
these 5 fish?
No. No.
Charcoal.
We'll just say they're a couple of... I'm not going into fish details. I'm
You
not
got
going
fish.
We'll,
Are they trout? Are they rainbow fish? Or
we'll say they're trout. We'll
They're
say they're
actually
trout because they're freshwater because
Oh.
it's an oasis.
They're sunfish. Nemos. They're just clownfish.
Oh God, what are they doing in this
Nemo.
fresh water? Who did this to them?
They're firefish now.
They're firefish now. Yeah, we'll say you guys get, they're decent sized trout. They're not super huge or anything, but yeah, you have.
It's perfect. We've just run out of behemoth jerky. Now we can have fish jerky.
I don't think you can jerky fish that's been boiled.
I mean,
Salted fish.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, anyway. You guys are fishing. I'm gonna cut away from you guys because I'm not gonna do any more of that there. And we're gonna pause for just a moment. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta go to the bathroom.
same.
I don't have a pause button anymore. Oh no.
Why'd you take the pause button out?
Actually, I don't even know if I ever had one. No? Yes.
And so we'll cut away from burning fish back into the hall. Marquies and Asher, what are you guys doing with your time here?
Preparing legal arguments for my party, for their defense. Also, just kind of like working on experiments and seeing what kind of things I could. Preparing more of my potions that I've used and seeing if there's anything that I can if I have extra time, work on some of the other small experiments that I've had.
You feel like this probably wouldn't be the best place to do that since you're in the throne room.
That's my goal.
Oh.
Or I could just say, hey, mind if I just set up right here?
I mean, they said we were gonna get. Did I make this up? Are we getting rooms for the night? Are we being posted up here to sleep?
I don't remember.
You haven't really been told.
Okay,
anything yet.
cool.
Is there anywhere where I could do some work?
Who are you asking?
I don't know. I'm assuming there's some sort of guards or servantry or whatever.
You can't really tell in this throng of people that are dressed haphazardly for battle. The only people that really stand out, besides the people that you know, are people that are kind of filling in for the Queen's Guard right now. So, you did see Milos kind of wander off. He comes back after a few minutes as you're kind of looking around for a spot to set up your shop. He'd probably be the best person to at least, maybe if he doesn't know, to figure out where you could go to start working on your experiments.
Or, is there... I guess I don't know. Are we, going anywhere? Is there a place for us?
Well, I can always ask the queen, of course, and see if there's places in the temple, because there's obviously sleeping quarters here. But, I was planning on heading back to my house. There's probably plenty of room back there if you guys want to head there. I didn't know if you guys wanted to go and indulge in the festivities. It sounds like it's going to be pretty wild. There's usually quite a few bonfires, so lots of drinking and merriment and singing and dancing and whatnot.
It's not going to be now.
I understand that's not your thing, but I just thought I'd offer in case you were feeling out of sorts for some reason, and wanted to, be jovial. But if you'd rather get down to business, I can either point you in the direction of my parents' home, or maybe walk you there myself in a little bit. I really want to talk to my mom quick, and check on my other parents before we head there. So if you give me like an hour or so, then we can head out. I'm sure we can find some place around in the that's more quiet inside the temple. Probably just not in here. There's a couple rooms, and I'll gesture to. I'm assuming there's an out chamber that's not like the main entrance, like towards the back or something, that I would know about from having lived most of my life around this place?
Yeah, so from where your parents' house is, and you're right, it is a decent size since you are, or even before you found out, you were at least related to the Queen, so you had a fairly sizable house here in Bronver. But, I mean, just kind of as an away from the throngs of people, you know that there's a couple of, like, small preparation chambers off to the sides in either side that generally were being used for holding court or getting ready to hold court. There's probably nobody in them right now.
Okay. I will kind of usher Marquies over there, and I will kind of make it eyes at Asher and be like, did you want to go with him? Do you want to hang out with me? I feel like everyone just kind of wandered off, and they kind of just left the two of you together. I mean, what is there something you want to do in the city? I mean, I have a couple ideas that might be fun.
I have a couple things I'm gonna work on, and I'm just gonna go out, and so he will walk around and find like a hallway that's vacant.
So this is just like the front portion of this area is just like pillars and a ceiling, basically.
He will find somewhere where there's a flat surface that is vacant.
You kind of get that's where Milos and Marquies are actually heading to, is one of the smaller chambers on the side that you might have a little more privacy.
Yeah, so he will do that and go into his room.
Okay, so you guys are kind of heading to the same room where Milos kind of points you guys off to kind of an antechamber, small preparation room. It's not a huge room by any means, and it looks like it was mostly used to change outfits, probably for the Queen. But Milos, you would have played in this chamber when you were younger quite often, so
dress up.
It's a little disheveled because everything seems to have been tossed, like somebody was, looking for things in here, but you can find a flat surface on a wall, Asher, pretty easily, and there is like a giant mound of pillows that you can sit down on, Marquies.
I mean, I'll chill out for a bit. I need to get one of those portals. Seems incredibly useful.
Yeah. Portal group. Everybody gets portal. So yeah. Marquies, are you working on anything specific, or?
Well, I guess work. I don't know that I want to do anything new in this place. I don't know, but I don't remember. I don't think I have any reading.
You have Riku's book that Milos was helping you decipher, since you don't read Albed.
Well, I can't do anything with that. I don't know what these words are.
I think I deciphered at least parts of it. I don't remember the exact percentage, but
I'd say
I don't think we've had a lot of time.
Yeah, I think you got about a quarter of the way through it.
Yeah. Well, I have my little. I guess while I'm waiting before we can go somewhere that is a little more appropriate for workshopping, I'll just use my little
Your portable
thing to just kind of re-up some of my used potions.
Absolutely. So you get to work on that. Asher, you're heading into your forge. The forge greets you just like it would any other time. When you put your key in, you open up the door, and you step through. You look towards the window, and something is wrong. You have that scythe stuck to your hand.
Yeah, that's why I was going in there.
And as you step in,
This might be a bad idea.
the window outside, you don't hear that rhythmic hammering of hammer on anvil, you hear this rolling thunder.
Oh, it's just a Garth Brooks concert.
Yep.
It's fine. It's a bard.
And you hear the window, or the shutters on the window being blown and slammed.
Cool. I am gonna try to like set down the scythe, and it's still stuck to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cast Identify.
Absolutely. So are you casting ritually, or are you just?
I'll just use the spell
casting?
slot.
Okay. So. As you begin to cast Identify, you're about to finish the spell, and you hear a voice in your head say, "It's not polite to peek."
It's not polite to stick around where you're maybe not wanted.
You must have wanted me. You touched
I touch a lot of things.
me. And you hear the voice say again, "Well, I think I like it here. I think I'm gonna stay." As you finish your cast of Identify, this scythe is known as the Reaper's Take.
Should have given it a car name. Should have given it a car name.
A car name?
I like Nissan.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
okay. What?
Subaru.
Just Edge.
Yeah. God. That's the name of my current car. Anyway.
Because you're an edgelord.
Yeah, you know it.
Gross.
Wow.
Reaper's Scythe, you said? What is it? Reaper's
Reaper's Take.
Take. Sounds like a horrible band.
Obviously this item is cursed.
No.
It's cursed. That is cursed. Honk if you'd rather be watching The Mummy.
We watched The Mummy.
Anyway,
Literally just watch it.
this item is
Not even
cursed.
watch
This item is also very obviously sentient.
Oh, it's sentient. Throw it in the fire.
I can't.
Asher just eats himself in the
Yeah.
fire. And the properties of this item
Or it's cursed.
Just cursed.
It's just cursed.
is that it is a +2 weapon. Upon landing a final blow, the scythe absorbs the soul of the creature that was slain. For 24 hours after the soul has been absorbed, the wielder's constitution score increases by 1 for each soul that is taken, up to a max of 5 in 24 hours.
Holy shit.
However, if the scythe does not feed for more than 48 hours, it will start to drain your constitution score up to a max of 10.
So you need to
If you drop to 0, you will die.
So you need to make murder every 2 days. This is fine.
Ellie doesn't know anything about this.
Mm-hmm.
She really doesn't.
Could be worse.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it could be. It could be a lot worse.
What about the amulet? You have an amulet from Bork too.
Yeah, it's in the
Bag of holding.
bag of holding. I'm
That one you
afraid-
picked up with the
I
scythe.
used the scythe, so I've not touched that. I'm assuming it's cursed because it came off. But it was from Bork or it's from the necromancer.
It was from Bork.
Oh,
Yeah.
well then I'll probably cast Identify on that as well.
This is cursed.
I'm cursed. Might as well.
You just have an
Can we double
amulet
curse?
stuck to your other hand.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to touch it for Identify.
For Identify, I think you do have
I
to
think
touch
you
it.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do.
I'll double check here.
Pretty sure it says you have to touch it for the whole time you do it.
See, I get confused on older.
You must touch throughout the casting of the spell.
Yep.
Cool. Let's see how cursed it.
Asher just
can
has
be-
scythe stuck to one hand and an amulet stuck to the other hand.
I feel like if it's cursed, it would let you at least wear it, so you can have a. Because I have I have a shield and a scythe. I guess I can put the shield down.
This item is cursed.
Cool.
You just
Cool.
run around.
Yeah.
With the amulet in your hand.
Yeah.
You're just like.
You can not touch this. But as soon as you do,
You can not touch. Is that what you
yeah,
said?
you can take it off. Is what. I'm
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's removable.
It is removable. However, once a creature has attuned to this amulet, their strength score increases by +3.
Damn.
But their wisdom score decreases by -3.
Oh, it's good for a tank. You don't need to be smart.
I'm already 20 at this for strength. Can you go above 20?
You can't break 20.
Not unless it says that you can.
This item cannot push your score above 20. But if the wearer takes the amulet off at any point in time, the wisdom score does not reset until a casting of Greater Restoration. But the strength does decrease back to its
So
base score.
you're only cursed after you attune to it.
Yeah, and I didn't attune. I just identified.
This amulet is known as the Berserker's Pendant.
That's not like the worst cursed item in the world. You know?
Did you say Greater Restoration?
Greater Restoration, yes.
He would probably talk to the take and ask the takes the voice, its name. Like, who are you?
I am the void that hungers.
Oh, I thought that was Becky.
You may call me Azeroth.
Okay.
It's a buddy cop. Azeroth and Aster.
Asher.
Asher.
Azeroth.
And he says, yes, I think I'll stick around. And you see, as you're holding the scythe, it begins to glow red hot in your hand. And there are some words that begin to appear on the hilt and up through the blade. And they start to burn into your skin, Asher, until it looks like the blade is like forged red hot. And then suddenly the blade and the hilt start to look like they melt down into this like black puddle. And then the puddle like envelops your hand for a second. And then it wraps around your wrist and forms this band of words around your wrist. As an interaction, you can summon this weapon.
Oh.
As long as you are bound to it.
Like, it's really cool besides the it can kill you part.
Yeah.
accepting curses left and right. Your mother would be so disappointed in you.
We're not gonna tell his
Shut
mother.
up, Chance.
Season 1,
So it's a +2. It needs to feed every 24 hours.
48.
48.
Oh, 48. Oh, yeah, 48. I wrote that.
What do you have to kill?
Hmm?
What do you have to kill?
Something with a soul.
Has to be a greater soul. So, not a creature. Or not a
Beast.
not a beast. Not an animal.
Oh, my marker broke. That's dead.
Do that.
We got stuck in there.
It's like
It's
in the
in
cap.
the cap,
Oh, nice.
right?
I didn't.
I was like, yeah, where'd it go? But it's
That's
like
new.
in there and it won't.
You look back, Asher, and you see Magpie is staring intently at what's going on, and looks at you worried and makes a little.
Depends if you want.
I think I have to. I know, buddy. This isn't good, but we'll figure this out.
Are you doing anything else while you're in here? You do have your charges for
Yeah,
today.
because it's a new day.
Yep.
I go talk to Marquies. Let's see if there's anything. I didn't prepare that far.
Fair enough. And we
I don't
can cover
Know what
that
I have.
as well. Marquise, are you doing anything special, or are you just kind of waiting for...
I'm kind of just hanging out.
Okay.
Like, hey, we don't really have anything pressing right now. I think so.
Yeah. So we'll cut over to Milos here. Finally, the throng kind of dissipates enough for you to push through some of the smaller folks ahead of you, and the queen finally issues up, please, if you have any other questions, and she actually points to one of the handmaids that she has, and she says, please issue your questions to Nerys, and she will take any questions. I must speak with my son. And so she saw you take Marquies and Asher into one of the entertainment chambers, so she takes you and Marcel into one of the other ones. She goes inside and she just kind of sits down on one of the chairs and just kind of sighs, pretty deep, heavily sigh, and you see your father, same size, maybe a little bit larger than you, kind of go up behind her and start rubbing her shoulders, and she just kind of untenses in his grasp.
So are we out of earshot of everybody?
Yeah, yep. You have this chamber to yourselves.
Okay. First of all, great job of hiding the fact that you're my mom. Totally did not see that coming. Really appreciate the discretion. But I mean, you probably could have told me at some point. I mean, I'm fucking 25. I'm an adult. You probably could have told me at some point. Were you ashamed of me? Why did you just not tell me? I feel like this is something important I should have known.
It is, and I apologize, but there's been an uneasiness with Alexandria for quite some time, and I had meant to tell you, but I was afraid that the church, if they found out our connection, might try to take you hostage and use you as leverage against me. I've always had this fear, and we've always been wary of the church, so I had my sister raise you as her own, so that way I could keep you close, watch you grow, but I do apologize for not telling you sooner.
I mean, at least you're still alive, and I can, not be raised by you, but I mean, at least know the truth and get to at least talk to you about this. And I look over at Zaddy and be like, sorry, we weren't introduced. I'm Milos Novak, and you are?
I'm Marcel Novak.
Oh, well, do you want me to call you Marcel or Dad or
Whatever
This
you're
is-
comfortable with.
Exactly.
Zaddy it is. But how? Where have you been all this time? Like, obviously, my mother knows you. Were you trapped in that realm where we found you?
I was sealed inside of the Crystal Tower for quite some time. I was guarding its secrets from the church. There is a lot of knowledge to be had inside of the Crystal Tower, and I was hoping it would not fall in their hands, so I was tasked on keeping it safe. I also was trying to keep our lineage decently secret for as best as I can, because I have to tell you something, I am very old.
Like 40?
That may be what my body looks like. However, unfortunately, I have seen 3 cataclysms.
And how long between cataclysms? Like hundreds of years?
There's usually 200 years between cataclysms.
So you're over 600 years old.
Technically, yes.
Goddamn.
Just for reference, I believe Hrothgar are usually around human age lifespan, like 80 to 100, right?
Yep.
Okay. So are you not a Hrothgar, or what exactly are you?
Well, what are we would be a better question.
Yes, what are we?
So, to tell that tale, must start a long time ago when Hrothgar were first raised to sentience by a race known as the Allegan. They were an ancient race from before the cataclysms that had much power and much knowledge, and they experimented as they saw fit, splicing together different species, breeding for certain qualities, the rest. So, when my clan was taken and experimented on, they crossed us with one of their worst creatures that I can even imagine anyway. Something that they had made to... How do I want to say this? Something to cause much destruction, but destruction on a wide basis. They spliced and bred us with a creature known as a chimera. Hence, we have our striping and our horns that differ from regular Hrothgar.
That makes sense. So does this mean I was also made in a lab, or was I born?
No, you, my son, were definitely born.
Well, do you know if this means I'll live like 600 years too? Or does it not work that way?
I'm not aged so physically. I have come across means in elongating my life magically, so...
Oh.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you deem to see it, you will live a normal Rothgarian life.
Well, I mean, I'm young for now. We'll see how long I live. I mean, I'm 25. I've got plenty of time. So
Certainly do.
that explains where you've been. Where did you go, Mom, when everything was going down? You went into hiding? But
She says,
were you really here?
No, I was here, and I barely remember scraps. Unfortunately, as I said, that man came to me with promises of power and gave me the choker that you destroyed. It was too late to realize that it was a choker that was designed to allow him to have control over me.
Oh, was it Jack?
Whatever his name was. All I know is he was a very evil man. But he promised us powers from our past, forces from our past to combat the armies of the church, our past greatest geomancers. If I would just help him in whatever he needed to do.
So he would have resurrected them and had complete control over this ancient army and probably overthrown your reign and taken over.
I believe at least that was the minimum of his plans. I don't know how far they go, as he wasn't much of a talker, so he would only tell me things he deemed I needed to know.
Well, thankfully, Sappho was here to help get that choker off of you. Do you know who Sappho is?
She is a guardian of our family. Has been for, well, a guardian of the Queen, I should say, for the longest time. However, 3 queens before me, it was rumored that she had been imprisoned, taken away because she was too good at her job and saw things that she didn't agree with, that queen, at that point. And so she was banished and trapped. How do you know her?
I helped free her?
She kind of like sits there with her jaw open, kind of like as cats do when they get that smell. And she is like, that is quite fortuitous. Huh.
Yeah, it was weird. Like, we kind of stumbled upon her, and we didn't know who she was initially, and then we learned more about her and found out she guarded the royal lineage, and I was like, oh, you mean like my aunt/mom? And she's like, maybe. So I figured, I mean, the worst thing that happens if she did get free was she would come and meet you, and if she was a threat, she'd be taken care of. But you know, it didn't hurt to have a bodyguard, right?
It certainly did not. I mean, she helped me free me from, along with you, free me from the prison that I was in, so I'm glad that you decided to free her. I mean, fate could have dictated you done anything else.
Well, I think we're all glad that she was here to help in your time of need, as neither of us were able to. Did you ever regret not raising me?
She kind of smiles a little bit, and she says, maybe not claiming you as my own, but if you remember anything about your childhood, it should be how often you were here, or that I was the one that directed what you would be doing.
I mean, yeah, I know you, like, covered my ass a bunch of times and made sure I didn't actually get in trouble. But I thought that was just, you looking out for me because you're my aunt, but not really. I figured that's just what family does for each other. Like, obviously, I did it for you. I mean, I let you continue to be queen. I didn't want it. Like, even though I grew up in this palace, I never like saw myself on the throne. Like, it's just not who I want to be. I've never aspired to have the weight of the world on my shoulders.
She kind of smiles a little bit at you and then, like, touches Marcel's hand on her shoulder, and he kind of, like, looks up from her and then walks over to you and is eye to eye with you in height. He might even be a couple inches higher or taller than you if he were to stand at his full height. But he smiles at you and just says, and that's exactly what a leader should think. One should not want to be a leader, but one should be able to lead, to be worthy of leading.
And as my eyes well up, I just, like, wrap my arms around and be like, oh, I missed you. I didn't know I missed you, but I missed you. As I, like, grapple him through tears, I'll just, like, start bawling into his mane and be like, oh, I know you're right, but I just need to hear that. I know the best leaders have, they're destined to be leaders because, greatness is thrust upon them and all that bullshit. But what about you, Mom? You literally fought my aunt, I guess, to be leader. Like, you obviously wanted it, right? Or did she just not want it? And so you took it for her?
Oh, no, we definitely fought for it. There was no two ways about it. But I did best her, and as her sister, I couldn't bring myself to slay her, even though we were younger. It was a much younger time in our lives, and she definitely fought me for it, but I would say that and don't tell her this, I'm glad that she was at least there to check me at every turn, especially with decisions about you. I may have had an idea of how I wanted to raise you, but she had been there all the time for you, and so she definitely gave me an earful on what I should decide for you.
And, I mean, I'm grateful for everything Mom and Dad did for me, as well as you, and I look over at Marcel. I mean, even though you weren't here, you still influenced Mom in other ways, I'm sure. But, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're my mom or if my other mom's my mom. I'm like, we're all family. I mean, just because you didn't tuck me in at night every night or, bake me my her famous apple pie or whatever, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you're still my mom regardless.
And we're all still family regardless. And she stands up now, and you and your dad and her get a big family hug, family rocker hug. We'll leave that there for a second, and we come back to Ellie, who has just been told by Gregor, yes, you can actually eat the white stuff in the coconut.
Yeah, I know, but I gotta save some of the drinky stuff for Joker, because I think he'd like it.
Sure.
And if he's unconscious, then I'll give some to Raha if he's awake. If they're both asleep, then I'll drink it, because I'm not saving it after that. They've missed out. But you can eat the white stuff?
Yes, you just take knife or spoon and...
I don't have either one of those things.
How do you not have knife? Knife is basic survival implement.
You haven't known me for very long, but I'm not anything about basic survival.
Yes. You approach the tent and you actually start to hear, like, cries of agony coming from the tent, and you see Gregor, like, starts to, like, take off and, like, run towards the tent.
I put the coconut's hat back on and I follow him.
You step into the tent, and you see, as the doctor is now, like, applying some kind of magic to Joker. There's just this bright light on the dome of his chest, and he is radiating this very weird, like, almost radiant, but in like a inverse band kind of way, like where light would normally shine from the chest and cause shadows beyond it. It looks like it's sucking in all of the light that is inside of this tent. And Joker's just like arched back on this table that they have him on, and he is just like thrashing.
Oh gosh, do you need help holding him down?
Like, there are already guards that are like holding his
okay.
legs down, and the doctor like looks back at you two and says, "What are they doing in here? Get them out!" And she looks at Gregor, and Gregor like grabs you and like pushes you out of the tent.
Is he gonna be okay?
The doctor will take care of him,
Okay.
I hope.
What?
Never seen it this bad before. He's always had issues with this, as he like tries to trail off a little bit.
Oh, well, he just slurpy snacked up another, spirit taco. I don't remember what they're called.
Espers.
Esper.
So,
Yes, anyway,
can we go check on Araha?
you actually see this figure, like, slip past you, and, like, go into the tent.
Somebody went in there. Who that? Why can't they go in?
Gregor, like, you say that, and Gregor, like, wait, you cannot go in! And he, like, puts his hand out to, like, grab this person, and, like, grabs their shoulder, and this person, like, turns around, grabs his gloved hand, and bends his fingers, like, backwards on his hand.
Oh, who are you?
And Gregor just, like, looks down at his hand and is like, oh, that should not bend that way.
Who are you? I look at this guy who's, like, doing this. What does he look like?
This figure pulls back their hood, and you see this, like, fun-bunned pink hair that is on either side of these horns that seem to, like, curl around, and you see this, like, scaling underneath this person's face. She's got kind of this... It's a lady. She has this pinkish skin and these kind of, like, sparkly eyes, and she says, "Hi, nice to meet you." And she holds her hand out to you.
Hi, I'm Ellie. Would you like some coconut water?
And she's, like, holding her hand out to, like, shake
Are
your
you
hand.
going to do my fingers like what you did to him? Because I'm not as mean as Gregor.
Oh, no, I just don't like to be touched.
But you want to
What
shake
color
my hand?
scales?
What's that?
What color scales?
Her scales are kind of this, like, ruby red coloration. But she, like, holds her hand out to introduce herself
what's
and
your-
says, "Hi, Ellie."
What's your name?
And she, like, holds your hands out. It's like, it's nice to shake, right?
Marquies would tell me that touching is a bad idea.
Well, I'm giving you consent.
Oh, consent's nice!
She touches your hand and shakes it, and she says, "My name's Queena.
Queena?
Yeah, I'm a friend of, Joker's.
So am I.
Let's go in and see him."
Okay.
And Gregor's like trying to pop his fingers back into place, and he's like, "You cannot go in there."
You'll be okay.
Um,
You said Queena?
Queena. And she goes inside, and the doctor, like, looks back and says, "I thought I told you to not come in the tent." And Queena's like, "It's okay. I'm his friend." And she, like, walks up to him. She takes this like ball of light that's like jutting out of his chest, and she like shoves it right back down in and goes, pats him on his chest and goes, "There, all better."
Wow, you did a better job than Doctor Lady.
Oh yeah, and that's because, and she like looks back around at you and smiles, and she waves her hand in front of her face, and suddenly she has a mask like
Oh,
Joker's.
I hope you're nice, because we killed 2 of his friends.
And she just smiles.
Oh, I like you.
And that is where we will pick up next time, guys.
What?